Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to explain my journey as to becoming a slow middle-aged runner. I'm going to tell you about my plans for the future and my plans for this channel. Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my channel, Erica Runs Slow. I want to tell you a little bit about me and why I'm starting a YouTube channel. I am a new runner. I've been running for about a year, and I'm older for getting started running. A lot of the people I know that run started when they were younger, in high school, early 20s, and I'm a middle-aged new runner. I started running last October, so I've only been running about a year, but I started walking about 5 years ago in the summer of 2020 during the shutdown, when I started reading the risk factors for getting severe complications of COVID. A lot of them, maybe not a lot of them, some of them were things that I struggled with. I have asthma and I was obese, and I started to worry about that, not just about COVID, but about my health in general. So I started walking every day. I started a little bit at a time. I had pretty bad joints at this point, so I started with just like a third of a mile, and then I walked a little farther every day until I was walking about an hour to an hour and a half every day as my form of exercise. I also cut my calories, not crazy. I was eating about 2,000 calories a day, but I did cut my calories. And I ended up losing 110 pounds in 7 months, which is remarkably fast for not really doing anything extreme. But I started to feel really good, and I started to feel more fit. My joints weren't as sore, and I started to feel healthier. But I always believed I couldn't run because I have hypermobile joints, especially in my knees, and they bend backwards. And I would struggle a lot of times. Just walking, they would pop backwards, and I thought that if that happened while I was running, I could really injure myself. So I always told myself I wasn't going to be a runner. But it wasn't until sometime last year, I was in the hospital with a severe B12 deficiency, and my legs had gone numb. And I was working with a PT in the hospital who had said people with hypermobile joints can run. They just have to be more careful and more aware of their body, and they have to focus on strength training the areas around those joints so that it won't be as prone to injuries. So I started running by adding a few 30-second run bursts into my regular walks. It was really hard. So hard. I felt like I was dying every time I ran. My heart rate would jack up well into the 170s, but I loved it. I thought it was so exciting to try something and just get just a little longer that next time. And then the next time I tried it, just a little farther, just a little faster. And it became so much fun. Until a year later, I'm running 16-mile long runs, and my short runs are 6 miles. And I've always been more motivated by running farther than by running faster. In the process of starting to run, I started consuming a lot of running YouTube, maybe more than is healthy. But what I found was that a lot of the YouTube content creators for running are really good at running. And they start with things like, I'm a 2:30 marathoner. And it makes sense, because who would want to take advice from a mediocre runner? So I wasn't surprised that there wasn't a lot of content for slow runners. And even the channels that I found that were labeled slow runners still were running their marathons or their half marathons at a 9-minute pace, which if you're running your easy pace at around 14-minute miles, that doesn't feel slow. It doesn't feel representative of you. But when I go to races and I run with local friends, a 13-mile pace is pretty average. A lot of people run at that range and they enjoy it and they have fun and they don't get really fast race times, but they still do it. And so I wanted to make a channel that is representative of the average, below average runners, for the people like me who run slowly but really still enjoy it, because I firmly believe that doing something that you think is really fun and you enjoy doing and you look forward to doing it every day, even if you're not good at it, is worth doing. So let me tell you about my race progression and how I got started on races. I have always been a huge Disney fan. I guess not always. In 2018, my family went to Disney World because one of my kids had a wish through Make-A-Wish to go to Disney World. And it was amazing. Even though the trip in general was a disaster and 2 of our kids ended up in the hospital, it was so magical and it was so fun and we were all hooked immediately. And so we have gone to either Disney World or Disneyland every year since then. So when I found Run Disney and learned that they were races at Disney, I obviously had to sign up. So I signed up for the Wine and Dine Half Marathon, which is actually this Sunday, and I'm participating in that. But as I got to training, I got really worried that I was gonna fail at Disney, because if I can't run a half marathon, I wanted to find that out not at Disney World, because Disney is only for being happy. So I signed up for a local half marathon that I did back in May, and I did it. I ran a whole half marathon, and it wasn't the time I was hoping for, but I did it, and it was so much fun. I think my time was 2 hours and 48 minutes. I was shooting for 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it was too ambitious. I was hooked at that point, and I decided that I liked it enough that I was going to go ahead and sign up for the marathon weekend at Disney World. And when I signed up, the only thing left available was the Goofy Challenge, which is a half marathon on Saturday and a marathon on Sunday, which is maybe not the smartest way to run your first marathon, but that's what I got. So I haven't even done a Disney race. I'm doing that on Sunday, but I've already signed up for the marathon and I'm already training for the marathon. So my training block currently is for my marathon, and interestingly enough, my half marathon on Sunday, the Wine and Dine, is in my training program as a deload week. It's actually an easy week where I'm only running 4 weeks, and 13 miles is a short long run, which feels wild when you think about how I started just a year ago. I'm still not confident that my marathon will go well. I don't know that I'll finish. The longest run I've done so far is just under 17 miles, and it felt hard. Maybe I can't run 26 miles, and I'm gonna unfortunately find that out at Disney World, because I'm not gonna run 26 miles before that. But I'm gonna have fun doing it. And even if I don't finish, I'm gonna have fun. So here's what you're gonna find on my channel. It's gonna be mostly running, mostly being a slow runner, being new to runner, and being a new runner when you're in your middle years of life. Some of the content might be about being a previously obese person living in a smaller body now, but a body that is still different and still remnant of obesity. I have some flabby bits here and all over me. I have a chronic fear of going back to obesity. I have a complex relationship with food and trying to learn to eat intuitively and not obsess over calories and weight, but while still secretly being really worried about those things. And so there might be some content about that as well. Obviously, there's going to be content about the Run Disney races. I'm so excited, and I'm excited to share that. All of the YouTube videos I've seen online about Run Disney look amazing, and I'm so excited. Another thing you might find on my channel is scenery. I live in Colorado, and the mountains are just lovely. And Every day when I go outside, I run in the morning and I see the sunrise and I see the pink mountains. I think it's breathtaking. I take a lot of videos and pictures of the mountains, and so you're gonna see some of that here. For now, I'm slow. My easy pace is around 13-minute miles. I do race faster. I did a half marathon a couple weeks ago where I got a personal record of 2 hours and 28 minutes, which is an average of 11 minutes and 30 seconds, which is still slow, but it's fast for me considering where I've come from. I insist that I'll never be fast. It doesn't feel possible when I run my speed intervals and I'm doing a 9:30 pace. I think I'm dying. It feels so hard. So I can't imagine a reality where a 9-minute pace, which some people still consider slow, is my easy pace or even my race pace. I can't imagine that reality, but I never thought I was going to be a runner. And I did that. So I've learned that I don't know what I'm capable of. And so I don't know what I'll never do. So maybe in the future, this channel will be Erica Runs Average, or maybe it'll even be Erica Runs Fast. But for now, Erica runs slow. She's happy with that.